Aside from challenging book-style foldables, Honor is out to challenge the majority of ultra-slim Windows laptops with the MagicBook Art 14. This isn't just the lightest and slimmest 14-inch laptop we have seen at just 1.02 kilograms and 1 centimeters, but it has several features that shames other Windows laptop brands. But despite that, is there anything you should look out on this laptop? Let's get on with the full review. Many thin and light laptops tend to compromise certain things when they try to cram everything into a slim chassis. But the MagicBook Art 14 managed to offer pretty much everything that regular laptops offer. It has two full-function USB-C ports on the left, and you get a full-size USB 3, HDMI, and audio combo jack on the right. The one can hold for one extra USB port, but this is already quite impressive than some other laptops that only come with only USB-C ports, which you probably do not need a dongle to go with this laptop, not unless you need a LAN port. The screen bezels are so slim and symmetrical that it can't even fit a tiny webcam sensor, and that's where the extra space for ports is used up for storing the magnetic webcam, which not only I think is a pretty useful gimmick, but it also gives users the absolute privacy when you don't need to use it. But I'm sure some busy person is going to misplace the webcam someday, and I assume this webcam is not going to be cheap. The keyboard is surprisingly good to type on, though it doesn't have the best key travel. They are very quiet compared to some other laptop keyboards even if you're hammering at it. I also like the recessed power button and fingerprint reader that require a harder press so that I wouldn't mistake it as the delete key. The trackpad is big and uses a haptic engine to simulate a click, which you can customize the strength that you want, and like the Huawei MateBook X Pro that we reviewed this year, it supports gestures to adjust screen brightness and speaker volume, while you can do a double knock gesture to take a screenshot. It is a better trackpad to use than its cousin, though I don't recommend using it for doing video editing. So I've been using this laptop for about 3 weeks, and what has continued to impress me is the beautiful 14.6-inch OLED touch display that's got a 3K resolution and 120Hz refresh rate. I enjoyed viewing every single content on it, but what I cared the most is its high PWM dimming frequency, which suits my eyes when I'm working in low light conditions that requires the display brightness to be dim. It is easily one of the best laptop displays within the category. Also, if you think such a slim laptop couldn't have big sound, this laptop has a 6-speaker system with very good acoustics performance and volume. The MagicBook Art 14 is only sold with one single configuration here, which my unit has the Core Ultra 5 125H processor paired to 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of storage. It isn't the most powerful variant, but for basic productivity and lightweight video editing, it is definitely sufficient based on my tests. But if you try to push it harder with more layers and video tracks, performance can be throttled even though it has dual cooling fans dissipating heat out of the chassis. The MagicBook Art 14 also comes with other conveniences if you have other Honor devices, such as transferring files between them and sharing your phone screen with multi-screen collaboration, sharing keyboard and mouse input between them with Honor Connect. Since the laptop comes with a pretty capable Intel Arc Graphics iGPU, I tried running some AAA game titles on it, but before I do that, I have to manually enable performance mode on the laptop's BIOS, as without that, games would run really bad, and Honor didn't have that option in the PC Manager app to cram the CPU wattage up. But by all means, this laptop is not made for gaming, but I was surprised by how well it managed to keep up. Black Myth Wukong ran an average 33 FPS on 1200p low settings, Shadow of the Tomb Raider ran 43 FPS on average, and finally, you're getting a pretty decent 40 to 50 FPS on Doom Eternal, which to be honest, it's kind of playable, but it really depends on what kind of gamer you are. But for me, that is actually darn good for such a slim laptop with an iGPU. Honor claims up to 9.5 hours of productivity battery life on the MagicBook Art 14. But in real-world usage, I'm getting around 8 hours of combined usage when I'm purely doing productivity work and web browsing. And you need to manually scale down the screen refresh rate to 60Hz to achieve that. There's no automatic switching for that, which is something that I hope Honor would implement in the software, but yeah, that's a software update we're gonna talk about. Otherwise, you only get up to 3.5 hours maximum if you're always on the 120Hz refresh rate. But despite that, I think this is one of the best battery life that you can get on a Windows laptop. Overall, I love working on the Honor MagicBook Art 14 and it has so many benefits packed into such a slim chassis. It has a very reasonable 5,999 ringgit asking price tag and is a serious rival to other well-known laptop brands. This is the kind of innovation that we have always wanted to see on a laptop, and it is mind-blowing that a company that mainly makes smartphones can achieve that. So that's all for the Honor MagicBook Art 14. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.